Hello, everybody, and welcome to another perspective with TyreseBiv. Wow, wow. What a weekend in college football as the college football playoff picture got just the more murky with teams like Michigan losing at home to Michigan State and Oklahoma losing at home to Iowa State. TCU has put itself in the driver's seat to win the Big 12, and it looks like a collision course between Alabama and Georgia in the SEC championship. I think just the Oklahoma and Michigan losses, they were the only two real surprises. LSU finding their mojo and going into the swamp and winning a game wasn't a shocker at all. It was what I expected from a team that has the talent that LSU has. It's just, this is one of the reasons I love college football, as everything just seems to play itself out week after week after week. The Miami-Florida State game was a good game. Came down right to the wire. Miami wins basically on a last-second touchdown. NC State continues to impress. Louisville, you can just about write them off. Lamar Jackson would definitely not be winning the Heisman Trophy this year. Not that he played particularly poor. He wasn't great, but he wasn't particularly poor. He didn't have that poor of an afternoon. This is what to expect from a guy who's just won the Heisman Trophy. He's going to get a lot of attention, Going to get a lot of attention. And they don't help him out, He threw the ball 47 times and then ran the ball another 19. Got to get some balance in there. Got to get some balance in there for the young man. Another big takeaway from the weekend is Ohio State. They're just continuing to soar under the radar. They're now back inside the top 10 at number 9. There were 10 last week, but they're going to continue to soar under the radar because they're not going to play anybody until a couple weeks from now when they host Penn State. They haven't played anybody since the Oklahoma loss. Army, UNLV, Rutgers, and then Maryland. And Maryland was not playing bad football. Maryland wasn't playing bad football, But Ohio State's a different animal. Oklahoma, they have a tough game coming up this weekend in the Red River rivalry with Texas. So, they're going to come in licking their wounds. And then they go and come right back with Oklahoma State. This is going to be Texas plays Oklahoma State next week, so Texas can start to make their claim in the Big 12 as well when you consider the teams that they've got coming up this week and next week. Oklahoma, then Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State, they're still in it. They're still in it. They just need to take care of their own business. West Virginia played well Saturday, but after their one loss in the conference, and now you still got to play Texas Tech, Oklahoma State, Texas and Oklahoma. The odds are they're pretty much done. TCU on the other hand, they've already overcame two hurdles, which was Oklahoma State and West Virginia. They still have Texas, Oklahoma, Texas Tech. And after what Iowa State did this past weekend, I think Iowa State is to not be taken lightly. Maybe they're not as good as they played against Oklahoma, but maybe they're not as bad as the team that gave up 44 points and lost to Iowa. Maybe they're not as bad as the team that scored 7 points and lost to Texas. But it's gonna be interesting in the Big 12 going forward. Of course, one loss does not define your season. It doesn't take you out of the college football playoff. It just makes you just have to put yourself in a very, very tough situation where you're gonna have to not only take care of your business, but you're also gonna be looking and needing help in other places. Michigan, they've got a tough one coming up in 2 weeks when they go to Happy Valley. It looks like Golden Spate's gonna be out another week. As good as John O'Corn looked 2 weeks ago in the second half versus Purdue, he looked just as bad Saturday, throwing 3 picks. You look at what Michigan State was able to do, and you're like, if Michigan had a half of an offense, they probably win that game. If you go into a game and you say our defense is going to give up 252 total yards, 94 of them through the air, we're probably gonna win. But when you turn the ball over 5 times, Michigan turned the ball over 5 times. It's very hard to win a game when you turn the ball over 5 times. And yet, it was still a 1-possession game. Just a 1-possession game. And Michigan's got some. They've got to find a quarterback. Not sure if Jim Harbaugh is going to stick with John O'Corn. It seemed to have been a three-way battle going into camp But who knows how it's going to play itself out. Wilton Spade looked like he won the job, but who knows how it would go the rest of the way. But I know that they cannot afford to have another bad outing this week against Indiana. They have to find an offense this week versus Indiana before going to Happy Valley on the 21st. They have to. It's a must. Alabama. What was Alabama defensively? They were stout, but the offense wasn't as dominant as it was the previous weeks, which is to be expected. But they ran the ball for 232 yards, so I think that pretty much explains it all. You run the ball the way that they can run the football. Damian Harris and then Bo Scarborough just barreling down. It's tough to take those body blows over and over and over again and come out on top. Texas A&M, they put on a good show. They hung right in there for the most part. They fought their way back at least. But at the end of the day, it's about, wins and losses, and they lost. And they fall to 4-2 now, 2-1 in the conference. It's going to be a long season. Georgia continues to impress. I can't stress it enough. They continue to impress. Two guys going for over 100 yards, Nick Chubb and Sony Michel going forward 100 yards. Both of them, the team rushed for over 400 yards. They're going to bring it. They're going to force you to stop the run and then they're just going to say, hey, can you stop it? We're going to line up. We're going to punch you in the face. And then we're just going to go home. And we're going to do it all over again. Now, that works against the Tennessees and the Vanderbilts and the Mississippi States of the world. That's all fine and dandy. But you're going to have to find some balance when you start to play the Floridas. It's a rivalry game. And the tension and everything will be high on that day. So they're going to have to find a little bit more balance. And definitely, not want to get ahead of themselves, but definitely find some balance before going and playing that in the SEC championship against either Alabama or Auburn, because I cannot say that it will be Alabama, because Auburn is not the same Auburn team from